Great. So this is the new duel deck that's out, Blessed versus Cursed. I got one of these here. Talk about it. Talk about whether or not you want to get it or not. Now, I do want to point out, from even before you look from a financial perspective, these are a great gift for people that play some amount of Magic, but not a lot of Magic. So they know the rules, and they like cool cards, but they don't have a big collection, or they don't play Standard. Maybe a friend or a niece or a nephew that like plays Magic, but doesn't necessarily play Standard. And often the value in these is pretty good. Ah! Yeah. Oh, God. Everything. Everywhere. Okay. They have rules inserts, which you need for new people. Blessed versus Cursed. They have kind of the whole thing going on there. They've got cool deck boxes, which I enjoy. We've got two of these here. And they've got pictures in the back. Cool pictures. And all of these things are more important than you think because new players like to have deck boxes. They like to have these things. They don't have the luxury that more experienced players have. Dice for each player as well. Generic magic symbols, which, sure, whatever. But, like, box and dice are big deals when you don't have them. A lot of people take for granted for them. So we've got... Let's talk about the shiny foils first because they're the coolest. Geist of Saint Draft. At different times was a very valuable card. Obviously, this is not probably going to be reprinted, although that would be awesome. But usually you have one card that was either really powerful or really expensive prior. This is our expensive card. Woo, shiny. And it's a really strong card, and it's a fun card, and it's a flavorful card. The only thing I don't like about this card is that it's not fun to play against sometimes for casual play. The good news is, like, you can just block it. Usually people aren't you like punching it in with like 4 Restoration Angels. The other card is the Mind Rack Demon, right? This is from Shadows from Innistrad. It's 2 black for a 4/5 flying trample demon. When it enters the battlefield, mill the top 4 cards, and at the beginning of your upkeep, if you don't have Delirium, which is 4 different types in your graveyard, you lose 4 life, which is another flavorful, cool card. So let's go ahead and talk about the human deck first, or the Spirits deck, or whatever deck Saint of Geisttraff, the Blessed deck. Sorry, that's the theme: Blessed versus Cursed. All right, so we've got Champion of the Parish, which I actually really like quite a bit. Champion of the Parish is a really strong card. It's a card you can build around. It's good on curve. Next is Dearly Departed. Oh, right. So Champion of the Parish gets +1/+1 counter whenever a creature enters the battlefield. Another human creature. Dearly Departed is 5/5 flying for 6, and it gets a 1/1 counter. Or when it's in the graveyard, humans that come into play get an extra 1/1 counter. So your humans are stronger because, that's in play. Right, let me move this. Hey! Over here. So you guys can see my stomach. No, just can't actually see what's going on. There we go. You can focus. You can do it, little computer. Ow. It's the side of Brad's house. Oh, well, look, technical difficulties. Everybody loves technical difficulties. Oh my good gosh. I can do it. Alright, guys. We're getting there. I just gotta tighten this up, move this over, put this down, have it focus, or fall down. And look, there's a cord in the way. Ooh, cords. Okay. Focus on your interlude. Or my hand, my hand looks really good here. Yeah. Brad's Hateful Machine. There we go. Eerie Interlude is 2 and a white. Exile any number of target creatures you control. Return those to the battlefield under the controller's upstep the next upkeep. I think that's another one of the new cards, if I recall correctly. Increasing Devotion is a pretty powerful card again. It has a flashback mechanic, and if you cast it from your graveyard, it's more powerful. It puts 5/1/1s into play the first time you cast it, 10 from your graveyard. Captain of Mist is another sort of human card that lets you untap this, and you can multiple tap and untap cards. All right, then we're into like the kind of regular commons, which are much less exciting. That's kind of this exile theme. Topplegeist, another new card, which is kind of cool. More humans, which are fine without being great. Soul Bond, which is a fun mechanic for people to play with. So you see a lot of cards that aren't terrible, that are flavorful, that kind of fit together. Mostly creatures. It seems like it's... Alright, this deck's not trying to get Delirium. This deck's just trying to have creatures come in and out. The blinking plays well with the Geist, because if they block it, you can just blink it. You got through 4 with your flyer. Oh, Pour of the Pages. There we go. This is a Madness Enabler. I don't think we're seeing any Madness cards, but that's cool. See the new colorless symbol here. Woo! Lands that make multiple colors, which are always a big plus for new players because I don't usually have them. And then we have our lands and our tokens. So, a few rares, some uncommons that really make the deck go well together, and a couple other cards that seem pretty nice overall. Oop. No! Don't fall on me, thing. Now we're going to look over the Cursed deck, which I think is actually much trickier because blinking is the theme of Saint of Geistdraft, but Delirium is more of an all-in ability, so I'm expecting a lot of cool graveyard interactions and a good diversity of different cards. And we start with Havengul Ruinbinder. If you can read it, you can't. See if it focuses. Oh wow, it's as blurry as completely possible. There we go. Alright, 4 for a 2/2. You can exile a creature from your graveyard and put a 2/2 zombie on the play. Then put a 1/1 counter on each zombie. So they get stronger and stronger as you play more of them. Gravecrawler, card you can play from the graveyard. Dies Trigger, cards you can play from the graveyard that are good at stopping other things. Graveyard themed, zombie themed. More zombie cards. So, okay, here we go. Milling. Self-milling is really what you want here. Screeching Scob plays well with that. Helps you get Delirium. Tooth Collector is another card that plays well with Delirium. We talked about this before. It's a powerful card that allows you to kind of push into your opponent by making their cards weaker. More zombies in general. Zombies. Other cards that take advantage of the graveyard that don't use Delirium, which is pretty important because they can't just print a bunch of Delirium cards. They can print flashback cards. Here we go. Sort of Lords for your zombies. A little bit of life gain just for fun. Death Triggers. So they're encouraging you to trade off, which is a little odd that most of your cards don't actually trade off. Flavorful cards. Ways to block their flyers. Ways to just kill things. Alright, here we go. Another way to get advantage off of the graveyard. So the one thing I don't like here is I'm only seeing instant sorceries and creatures. I don't actually see a 4th type. Yeah, so then let's just double count over the types in the zombie deck. Just because if they don't have 4 types, it's going to be really hard. Then you're just trying to mill a land? I don't like the idea of having to mill a land. So I definitely think that the Spirits deck is much better than the Blessed deck. Let me just take a peek through here. We've got sorceries, we've got creatures. You guys can't see this side. I'll do it this way. Sorceries, creatures, instants, which, you know, they've got an artifact and a land. But instant, sorcery, creature is just 3. So you're not that likely to hit a 4th type unless you mill yourself, which is not actually where I want to be at. I want to have more control over how I get to Delirium, or that kind of effect. That said, you only have one card that punishes you greatly for not having Delirium, so it's not the end of the world if you don't have it. But yeah, so again, Blessed versus Cursed came with the 2 decks that we covered, which was nice. You know, they always have these really nice boxes, which I really do like these boxes. They're flavorful. They hold the correct amount of cards, which is 60. They're not small boxes. They're appropriate size. They don't work if you have sleeves, which is sort of a weird spot. But if you're buying sleeves, you're probably enough of a non-casual player that you're probably buying a deck box as well, because deck boxes are pretty cheap. But if you don't have sleeves, now you have a way to keep your cards together other than the old like rubber band or hairband kind of thing, which is pretty cool too. So overall, if you know somebody that wants to pick them up, if you know a casual player, a niece or nephew, I think they're pretty good. I think on the value side, I do not think these cards are worth the cost of the deck. So I would not pick up the deck if you were looking to, say, build your collection, with the exception of Geist of Saint Traft, which I'm not even sure is worth $20. I'm pretty sure it's not worth $20. And that's really the only card. Let's check real quick. Geist of Saint Traft. Here we go. Yeah, it's $7. Which, I mean, is a big part of the total expense of the deck. And yeah, before this printing it was at $20. So, you know, you got a $20 card, quote unquote, out of this. And that it made a card that used to cost $20 now costs $11 or $7. So it's not terrible. Alright guys, we'll be right back with our Loot Crate.